Welcome back to Sports Talk ATL. I am Chase Earl, joined by Alex Lord. So going back to that article that I wrote on the site, check it out. It's going to be a good one. I think you're going to be interested in this. I also wrote about the Braves bullpen, and the Braves bullpen has been a hot topic of discussion. They have not been good over the last month, but overall, they ranked 15 in ERA. They're middle of the pack, but listen, Fangraphs had them ranked as the top bullpen coming into the season. It hasn't worked out. There's been some problems. Lucas Luque turned out to be a bum. He's already been DFA'd. Joe Jimenez, that trade looks just abysmal. And, Alex Anthopoulos, you're not going to bet 1,000. AJ Minter, his surface level numbers have been really bad, and they've been without Raisel Iglesias for most of the season. And even when he's been back, he hasn't been as dominant as he was last season. But there's some reason for optimism, and I'm going to start with Minter because he is one of the best relievers in the league. And it's funny because he has a 6.83 ERA, yet he has 0.6 FWAR on Fangraphs. And if for those of you who are not familiar, a 2-WAR pitcher for reliever on Fangraphs is the top of the bunch. Like, you're a top 5 reliever. We're a third of the way through the season. He's on pace for 1.8. He had 2.1 last year. So Fangraphs is basically saying from his expected numbers, he's pretty much the exact same pitcher we saw a year ago, yet he has a 6.83 ERA. I saw another stat, and which is crazy about that because his FIP is 308. FIP is fielder independent pitching. It takes out the fielding aspect of it. He has a batting average in balls of play that's sitting around 400. The league average is 300. He's giving up 1.1 homers per 9, which is a big part of FIP, and it's still at 308. That's almost unheard of. So he is still a dominant force. He has just been the subject of ridiculous bad luck. So for people hating on Minter, I please ask for patience, because if there's one guy on this team, and I've said this before, that I'm very confident will turn it around, it's AJ Minter.
Yeah, I can't give you any specific instances, but I watched 90-ish, 95% of the games, and a lot of the struggles I saw from Minter, it wasn't the fact that he was walking guys, because those numbers are still down. He's still punching guys out at a similar rate. It's just batters are putting their bat on balls that they shouldn't be. Just hitting some ridiculous pitches. I see it frequently where I'm like, how did he get that? And then I hear Peter Moylan or Jeff Francoeur being like, that was a good pitch. I mean, you just got to tip your hat to the batter. And the track record of success for Minter, I know before last season he was a headache up and down, but Brian Snitker stuck with him, and he turned into the best lefty reliever in baseball last year. He was the most valuable, at least in WAR. The track record of success shows that, and the FIP. I think that is a very illuminating stat, that he has gotten extremely unlucky. He's going to regress to the mean. I think everybody is just freaking out, and he will regress.
I completely agree with you. And the FIP gets bumped up a lot by home runs. That's why that 3.08 FIP, like if his home run numbers were down where they should be, we're looking at right where he was last year in the low 2s. He's giving up a home run on 11.1% of the fly balls he gives up. That just is unheard of. And like you said, a lot of these pitches aren't bad. It's not like he's giving up home runs on meatballs down the middle. They're cutters in on dudes' hands that they're somehow turning on and they're leaving the yard. They're down and away. It's just been really bad luck. And you can say it for the entire bullpen. I think he's a microcosm of the entire bullpen, because without their closer, yes, the Braves have the 15th best ERA, right in the middle of the pack of the MLB, which isn't great, especially for a really good team. But they're 7th in FIP. And that's without Raisel Iglesias. That's without Dylan Lee for a good period. That's, Colin McHugh was on the IL. So with everything, this is not a bad group currently constructed. Now, do I think they should go and add a piece at the trade deadline? Yeah, why not? Overkill is always a good thing. But as currently constructed, this group hasn't been nearly as bad as the numbers suggest, the surface level numbers. And when you take this large of a sample size, it's going to, I promise you, come down. And you're going to be like, oh, this Braves bullpen's actually good. It's not bad.
Yeah. Let's also talk about another guy, a new face to the bullpen, AJ Smith-Shawver. And I know, it would be wild to expect a 20-year-old to come in here and dominate, but his stuff is unreal. If anybody can come in at 20 years old, the guy touches triple digits, got a wipeout slider. I mean, this guy can come in and give the bullpen some very good innings. So I'm not worried about the bullpen. It's also just the easiest thing to acquire at the deadline, in my opinion. A lot of people need it, so it kind of makes it expensive, but there's always room to negotiate. And Alex Anthopoulos has shown an ability at deadlines year after year after year to acquire talent. I'm not worried about it. The bullpen is turning around. Raciel Iglesias is looking better. I don't even care about those 3 walks and then the error to end the A's game. I'm not worried about it. That was I think the last time he had 3 walks in an inning was in 2018. So
Well,
everybody
he
calm
had
down.
never had 2 walks in an inning in his Braves career going into that game. He had never had 2 walks in an inning. It's just an anomaly. Like, these things are not going to continue to happen. And listen, if AJ Smith-Shawver can give this group anything, we might not even need to acquire a bullpen piece because Michael Soroka could be back there. There's a lot of things that could happen. So it's May. Things are going to turn around. I promise you. Coming up after the break, we're going to talk about Bryce Elder and how his season has just been ridiculous.